and steady. I'll visit my daughter when I get ready. You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit. Baby, you full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit. You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit.
All right. Thursday night, and the shills are out, the grifters are out. We're going to get to this. Jack Hunter claiming that Donald Trump is an ape. We'll get there. But first, this must be seen. This must be seen.
This episode is brought to you by the MULN Investing app. If you want to support the channel and get some free stocks, hit the link pinned to the top comment. We got to talk about AMC Entertainment and how there are strange things happening on the stock market as we speak. Let's talk about it. So there's something called a dark pool, literally a pool where large institutions throw all of their shares in.
Literally.
There's no transparency. They named it themselves. They named it a dark pool. You can think of it, and I said this in the past, kind of like...
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to say the comment that I'm thinking, but just use your imagination. Literally a dark pool. Literally a pool that is dark. That's like shit water. It's a shit pool. There you go. That's
walking into an alley, and there's a guy with a trench coat, and he's like, okay, what do you want? Some GameStop? You want some
Express.
AMC? Right? There's no
Fancy.
transparency over there. We're not supposed to see it. Let's look at how there's been a nearly 1,000% increase in dark pool activity on AMC in the last few days. You know I got the receipts. Check this out. Just a few days ago, I took a screenshot of how much buying was happening on the dark pool of AMC, and it says negative 96 million, which means on the dark pool, when you look at stockgrid.io.
Okay, stockgrid.io. All right. I never really understood what they mean by position. Maybe we should pop over to StockGrid and refresh my memory. But it's a bit confusing because there's not really a position in the dark pool. It's not really how it works. What is it? Great. Join your new Discord. Awesome. Hello, Chris and Model 3 Dude. Catfish is the fresh catch of the day. What's the soup today? We got a lot of people wanting to know what the soup du jour is. Okay. Is that what he's showing right there? Dark pool data, net volume, position. Right. Short volume represents the aggregate volume by security for all short sale trades executed and reported to a TRF, blah, blah, blah. Although it may seem noisy and rather poor factor on its own, it has been shown by squeeze metrics that higher short sale volume leads to abnormal positive returns. Well, that's because most of this short volume, I mean, the overwhelming majority of short volume is actually long sales or long buys by retail. That's how the mechanics of the market maker internalizer model works. We've looked at that before. The argument is that short sale volume mostly represents shares sold short by market makers to investors buying stocks. That's exactly what we said. It's not really an argument, I don't think. I think it's pretty much factual. These investors are referred to as dark pools, since the FINRA TRF trades are from off-exchange venues. These investors, what investors? Retail investors? Retail investors are the dark pool. Okay. The goal of this page is to show the cumulative net short dollar volume by security. It is calculated by taking the net short volume, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so essentially, and it says a positive position or position dollars would be bearish, and a negative one, a positive position or position dollars would be bullish, and a negative one bearish. So what do we have? So we have a positive one. So what's he bitching about? Well, why does it say minus there? Am I on the wrong thing? Oh, that's not net short volume. Okay. This is a janky ass website, I'll tell you that. Position. Yeah, the numbers are... How do I get to that? I have no fucking idea. But anyway, so are they talking about short volume? Well, we're on dark pools though. I'm not on short volume, but okay. How do I get to show that? Dark pool position. Well, anyway, it's usually about half or so, but short volume, net short volume, net short volume. Okay, whatever. Cumulative net short dollar volume. Right, that's this. And they say a positive one is bullish, and if this is negative, it's bearish. So it's positive. So what, yeah, again, what is he bitching about? But I don't see this here anywhere. How do I get that? Net volume position. And that's a different position. Anyway, I think this website is misleading at the very least, but that's just my opinion. Allegedly, supposedly, hypothetically.
You'll see negatives when there's buying pressure, aka they are routing the buys over to the dark pool. So 96 million, right?
Okay, well, like, they're routing the buys over to the dark pool. Well, you need to understand how the market works. Like, you need to understand the structure. You need to understand that when you submit an order to buy a stock, okay, from any, excuse me, from any brokerage, it's not just Webull and Robinhood. It's pretty much every brokerage, unless they allow you to route it specifically, directly to wherever you want it to be executed. But any, with a couple exceptions, but most, all, if not all brokers will send that order to a market maker. The market maker is a high frequency trader, essentially Citadel, Virtu, Susquehanna. They execute the trade. Now, they may not have a share to sell you, but they'll sell it to you anyway. They will sell you a share. You want to buy a share at this price? You got it. That's the beauty of the system. It aids in liquidity. So, I want to buy this. I want to buy this stock at $15. Price is swinging all around. I want to get it at this price right now. Submit an order, limit order at my price. Boom, I get it. Okay, they may not have it right at that moment, but they can get it. They can get it, so they sell it to you. That's a short sale. That's short volume. Then they turn around. They got to find it. Who's got it? Who has this stock in stock? Whose account can we transfer it from if we want to buy it? We want to buy it from somebody to replace the short sale that we sold to you. So they're not. It's not a nefarious thing. This is the market structure. this is very important and something that I don't think the apes understand, just like the bad back is saying. And I still have that catfish up there. I know. Okay, they tried to get others to talk about overhead supply, but was told that they will leave that up to me. Okay. I saw your comments on Chris Norland's video, actually. I was going to reply, but I figured, I'll just give it a thumbs up and move on. But I didn't go back to visit the comments to see if he actually responded to that. So, hi, Antoinette. Now, where is this here? You need to understand why he's in a tux. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Image is everything, you know. Smart dresser, smart influencer. Chris got it. Market maker supplies instant liquidity. Boom. Been saying, bad back says forever that the apes don't understand liquidity, and that's true also. I'm thinking maybe I should move that comment. The comment. Oops, not that way. Move the little comment thingy up. So it's easier to see. Boom, there. So this is something that, you know, again, we talked about time and time again. I don't know if any of the other, I don't know if any of the ape influencers have talked about, I know they've talked about the market maker exception, but they talk about it as if it's a negative thing, like, oh, they're allowed to naked short. This is the problem that happens when, this is an example of what happens when you go around throwing around terms you don't understand in a field that you really don't know much about. It's so discombobulated. It's such a just gobbledygook. That's what I'm getting from Keenan tonight. It's just gobbledygook. It's a word jumble of just random buzzwords that are designed to make an emotional response. That's pretty much it, right? And without the market structure, the system couldn't function without liquidity. And this is something that I was watching that I think I posted in Telegram chat, which, by the way, the voice chat is on. If anybody wants to jump in there, go, feel free. Come on in here. But it was a tasty trade segment where Tom and Tony and Vic were talking about the supposed quote-unquote SEC reform changes, whatever, that I guess Gary Gensler, I didn't look into it at all today. I guess he was supposed to say something today about it, and they generally got talking about liquidity and market structure, and essentially, well, first of all, I think there were two parts. One part was dealing with exchanges capping the amount of money that they can charge for data. And then the second part being creating an auction model for retail investor market orders for market makers to compete to give the best execution, I guess, the best price, supposedly centering it on the retail investors. So their take was, and I tend to agree with them on this, that it's basically smoke and mirrors. It's not really, it's creating the illusion of reform, but most people don't use market orders. Most people will use a limit order to buy or sell. I want to buy it at this price. I don't want it to be up to the market what price I'm executed at. I want to pick my price because I have a specific target. I want to buy here and sell there, or whatever. So this would have nothing to do with limit orders. This would not ban payment for order flow. It would do nothing really. And their point also was that, at least on their platform and others, if you submit a market order, you'll actually get price improvement. So, meaning you'll get, if you're trying to buy a stock, you'll get a price that is lower than the ask price. Or if you're trying to sell it, you will get a fill that is higher than the bid price, and that's on market orders. So they're saying the system works pretty well already. Without liquidity, you'd be listing your stock on eBay, right? And I never use market orders either, really. Occasionally, but there's not really a reason to. And I trade a lot of options, and you're going to use limit orders for options. So, but so this is the structure of the market, and it's really, I mean, I'm going to say it's shocking, but it's not really, but it kind of is, though, that a year and a half into this, you have these guys putting out videos, with a clickbaity title, which the title of this live stream, I get it, but I'm I'm allowed to putting out these clickbait videos, hyping something, and this is what I always said, is that they're taking a normal part of market structure or the stock market in general, or trading or investing. They're taking some detail, some normal detail of it, and hyping it up as if it were something that's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Because they don't understand it. They don't know it. They don't have much experience with it, if any. So, yeah, dark pool. It's something that you can hype in a negative way. Absolutely. It sounds like it's really bad. It does. It sounds terrible. Dark pool. Why would you want that? Why would anybody want a pool? Any type of pool. I don't know. Any type of pool. Anything that could be called a pool. Why would you want it to be dark? That sounds horrible. So it was really bad, decision making on the part of whoever named it. But I guess he said that the hedge funds, I guess Ken Griffin probably did. But anyway, it's crazy that they're still doing this a year and a half later, although it's not really surprising, but it's so ignorant. Like, this is the market structure. They're not routing orders to the dark pool. You are using a brokerage that participates in this system, which is 9 out of 10 brokers. It's 9.5 out of 10 brokers. This is the way it's done. There are a couple that allow you to route orders here and there if you want. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to speak for other people, but that's not what I'm worried about when I'm trading, okay? I don't think that is what most people are worried about. Oh my God, where's my order going? Oh, I don't want it to go. No, fuck them. I don't want it to go there. No, people aren't worried about that. People that are actually decent investors, decent traders, profitable traders, they're not worried about that. That's the least of my concern. I want to buy it at the right price and sell it at the right price. That's all that matters. And if I can buy it when I want to buy it and sell it when I want to sell it, that's the point. And you pretty much can. And that's the beauty of this system. That's the beauty of the system. It allows you to buy when you want to buy, sell when you want to sell. Boom. That's it. Let's see here. And that was another point that Tom Sosnoff and the gang were making on this video yesterday about that supposed reform or whatever. That is really what retail investors, at the end of the day, what matters to retail investors, what really makes a difference is, can I buy it when I want to buy it instantly? Can I get rid of it? Whatever it is, anything, literally any stock, any option, can I buy it when I want to? And can I sell it when I want to? If the answer to those questions is yes, then what's the problem? What is the problem? And I would speculate that the problem is you bought the wrong thing, or you bought it at the wrong time. And that's on you. That's on you. That's on individuals. So this whole thing is just so misguided, but, I feel like I'm my my voice is probably going to give out if I don't, you know, shut the hell up and let him keep telling it as it is. Okay, here we go.
But just today, and you can go check this for yourself, it is at
Well, what does this mean?
$715.9
What does this mean?
million worth of buying over on the dark pool, which is approaching a 1,000% increase, almost a.
Okay, so we looked at this and it said that positive. So I don't know if it was the first one or the second one. You know, it's very unclear. He doesn't know what it means because he doesn't explain it. He just hypes it, but he doesn't explain it. Listen.
10x. This is crazy volume in a short amount of time, and it's increasing on the dark pool, family. It makes you wonder what is going on with the institutions right now. And on top of that, because it's not.
There is no dark pool. It's not one entity. That's another thing that really, you know, if you come to this stock grid thing and go to the bottom, it talks about 3 different entities: TRF, ADF, and ORF. Those are 3 different off-exchange venues, essentially, or 3 different ways that a trade can be done off-exchange. So it's just not like again, it's this myth of a dark pool, the dark pool. No, it's off-exchange is really the way it should be thought of, and I've been saying that for a while. Off-exchange makes a lot more sense. It's less hypeable. And actually, you know, if you look into it, off exchange is where you're going to get price improvement. On exchange, you're going to be buying at the ask price and selling at the bid price. You're not going to get price improvement. So, again, it's just, what does this mean, though? What does this actually mean? He doesn't know. He doesn't say. He just hypes it. It's a lot. Oh, yeah, these are big numbers. But what does that mean? What does it actually mean? The number of grains of sand on the beach is a big number. Well, what does it really tell you? What is this doing for us here?
Not just the dark pools. Look at this. The cost to borrow AMC shares is going through the roof. The short sellers, these are the people betting against AMC. When they do these bets against it, they don't own the shares outright. They borrow those shares and then they sell them into the market with the hopes of buying them back later.
Wait, so now where did he pivot to short selling? I missed that.
AMC shares is going with the institutions right now. And on top of that, because it's not just the dark pools.
Okay.
Look at this. The cost to borrow AMC shares is going through the roof. The short sellers, these are the people betting against AMC. When they do these bets against it, they don't own the shares outright. They borrow those shares and then they sell them into the market with the hopes of buying them back later. But remember, when you borrow something, this is the financial world. Nothing is free here. So you have to pay a fee. Now let's look at the fees and let's start from the bottom up. On June 9th at about 8:32 Eastern Standard Time, we had 20%, 20.3, right? And you can see on the bottom, all the way on the right, so it says basically available, how many shares are available. In the middle, it says the fee amount. So if we start all the way at the bottom.
This looks like it's from Stonko Tracker, yeah? Is that it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, let's see here. The available shares to borrow is an amount provided by Interactive Brokers. It only displays the amount of shares that can be borrowed from them. It's not the ideal amount of available shares to borrow, but gives a good indication what's happening. Okay. So, it only displays the amount of shares that can be borrowed from Interactive Brokers. It's not the total amount of available shares to borrow. Okay, so this is pretty much meaningless then, I guess.
You can see
it's high.
20.3%. That was the interest rate that they had to pay to borrow these shares, family. But then
annual interest rate. So I did a little math a minute ago, and here, let me bring in the calculator. Come on, calculator, come on in here. Don't be shy. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. Okay. There's the calculator. So AMC closed at 1278. And actually I used the, he's going to show the ortex thing in a minute here, and he's going to show the maximum as 48.18%. So that results, and that's a yearly percentage rate. So that results in $6.15 per share per year. Which let's see, I have another calculator here, another calculator open here somewhere. This one. So this calculator is showing the daily amount per share. That's at 48.18%. So cut that in half, basically. And you get the 25, 24, 25, whatever, 20, and you have 14 there. It's even less. So you're talking about less than a penny per day. Now, okay, you could say, well, hey, million shares, right? They get if one entity borrowed 1 million shares, that's 1 million pennies. That's $10,000. $10,000. So sounds like a lot to me, and maybe you, but you know, we're talking about financial institutions, Wall Street. 10 grand to them, couch change. So the cost to borrow argument is kind of it's a big nothing, really. Okay, now there's a comment here about payment for order flow results in bulk orders that allow for buying and selling to happen outside the realm of what should be existing to buy and sell. You shouldn't be able to buy or sell more than exists of the float of a stock. Okay, there's a few different things in there. Payment for order flow results in bulk orders that allow for buying and selling to happen outside the realm of what should be existing to buy and sell. Okay, and then we have, you shouldn't be able to buy or sell more than exists of the float of a stock. And you're always going to have that with short selling. With short selling, it's not really a function of payment for order flow. Short selling will effectively, temporarily, increase the effective float of a stock. Hello, Manuel. Manny's here. Now it's a party. But these are borrowed shares. So here's something, and I still haven't really figured out the best way to explain this, but the best I can come up with is you have the float. Okay, it's a 516 million and change. Okay, that's the float. That's like the total supply of money. Think of it that way. It's the total supply of money. That's all the money that's been printed, that's in circulation. That's the 516 million. Okay? But just like with money, an institution holds some of it. The bank has some money. Wall Street banks have shares. They lend out money. If you want to buy a car or a house or some expensive item, you're going to borrow money. So that's not increasing the amount of money that's out there. There's still only $516 million or shares. But now you have this you have a lender-borrower relationship which sets up another economic exposure to part of the total money supply. It's the same thing with shares of stock. It's really the same. It's not any different. You have the float, which is a fixed amount of supply. Then you have economic exposure to the float. It's not a one-to-one. Just like with money, it's not a one-to-one. The amount of money that is spent or paid out every year or every whatever period of time greatly exceeds the total money supply. Because, among other reasons, money changes hands. So stocks change hands. And it's useful to think of it in this money analogy, because at the end of the day, that's what securities really are. It's pretty much the same thing. Now the value swings, yes, and we trade it differently, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of similarities. Okay. No hope for the generation 57 says those interest rates sound like predatory lending. Yeah, not. It sounds like it to me, $10,000, but it's not to them. Except the major differences that the price of a loan to keep over time does not change. The direct act of doing what you're talking about specifically influences. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to say there. That makes no sense. Try again. In a whole year, people haven't learned anything. It's like they are trying to play chess with checkers rules and complaining why they can't win a game. Right. That's what I feel. Manny's bowling and drinking. Yeah, I think I have chat replay on. Sometimes it goes off. I don't know why, but pretty sure that it is. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, live chat replay is on. Okay, that's good. Well, I hope, many strikes to you, Manny. May you get many strikes. Okay, driving. Well, now don't risk your life, to talk about this stuff, because it's not going to change. It's not worth risking your life over, because none of this stuff is going to change. It's very standard. It's very, in other words, you have, the best thing to do is to try to understand it rather than fight it, and I mean that sincerely, because this isn't going to change. This is the way it is, and I don't like being told that either, but it's part of being an adult, I guess. The way things are sometimes, just is the way they are, and the float that's the number of shares that the company has issued. That's the number of shares the company has issued. And by the way, they are continually issuing more. I mean, it is. I went to the 13 or the whatever SEC. I forget which one, 8K or I forget which form it is, but to see, because I was. You see 513, you see 516. Some people say 510. No, it's 516. There were stock awards that were given out to the tune of, I don't know, 2 or 3 million recently, or it was reported on the last quarterly filing. So it is 516 and change. But the economic exposure, and that's why I need to come up with a better way to explain that. But that's what it is. I mean, you have a contractual obligation between one party to lend something to the other party to effect a short sale, and it does temporarily, quote unquote, increase the quote unquote float, but it really doesn't, because those positions, so a short sale is sold to somebody, that long position that's created is offset by the short position, and at the end of the day, the short position, both positions will be temporary. So it really, it all comes out in the end. Okay, let's see here. AMC hitting 100 tops. I mean, okay. I'd say it's hitting 30 tops, but Let's maybe get back to 20. Well, you know what? Let's get back to 15 first. 15. Start there. Now, Bad Back saying, think of it as a sports bet. There are people on both sides of the bet, and that influences the price or odds of the bet. Shorting is not some nefarious act. It's completely legit. Amen, brother. That's it. Big B selling 75,000 shares once this hits 100. Well, we were just talking about eBay auctions. You might have better luck there. That would be something. Okay. All right. I really need to let this play. I take a drink here.
They started putting some shares back, and more shares became available. So then you get up to the top where you see that there was about 300,000 for the first time. At the bottom of the red rectangle, a little bit to the right, you'll see 300,000. And then this was the fee of 14.8%. So then people started to say, oh man, you know what? They're returning the shares. So then the fee is dropping, and that was true. But then look what happened. All the way at the top, you have 24.5% fee to borrow AMC shares. That's crazy. So the fee is getting high. The interest rates is near all-time high.
Well, just to jump in, it's not really that crazy because we saw the cost to borrow max was 48%. That's 1 penny per day per share, essentially. So it's not really crazy. It's not. I mean, the thing is, it's a percentage. So, and it's an annual percentage, but if the stock is $72, then you have a different situation, but the stock is $12. So 25% of $12 per year, it really ain't that much. Now, I think maybe everybody's got in their head that AMC's 100,000 per share, 100,000 per share. So let's see, if that was the case, that 24.5% is going to be 24,500 per year, or $67 per day. But it's not. It's literally, not. So that signals to me that he doesn't understand what that means. And, because if you broke it down, it would be hard to hype it. It's really hard to hype that. One cent per day. And it's even less if it's, 14%, 7%, or, God forbid, 2-3%. Okay.
Guys, not exactly, but they're getting very, very close. So it's getting more expensive to borrow these shares to short them into the market, but the short sellers are still doing it anyway. On top of this, like I just showed you, they're going crazy on a dark pool in the last few days. And then take a look at this. The short interest is at 24.02% at the time of this recording. It may change by the time you watch this video. It may change by the time you check it for yourself, but it's getting near all-time high levels. This is crazy. You got to remember, though, the numbers never add up. We were told by CEO Aron, who was the CEO of AMC, that the AMC apes own above 80% of all of the shares.
Why is he still saying this? Why is he still saying this? That's not true. And I see people do it every day. Hear people do it every day. So you're just going to ignore the other part of what he said? I mean, this signals to me, it's all about signals. This signals to me that they don't want to acknowledge it. Because why else would you discard part of the same sentence of what Aron said, where he said this 80% nonsense? Excluding index funds, retail investors would seem to own blah, 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 right? That's what he said. That's what he said. But it gets truncated to, retail owns 80% of more than 80% of the float. 90%. I've heard somebody say more than 90% of the float. Adam Aron said that retail owns more than 90% of the float. He never said that. He never said that. And even with this 80%, it was qualified. It was qualified with excluding index funds. Okay, well, why don't you include the index funds and give the actual number? Because that has caused a lot of fucking FUD. No, it is FUD. It 100% is FUD. And really, it is reflexive FUD. It is fear, uncertainty, and doubt that is being created from within this community. Because the apes feel that Adam Aron is their bud. He's the silverback, right? So, reflexive FUD. It's redirected back at the same people that it's coming from, essentially. Okay. And that is a term that I coined last year. I was inspired to get there from Review Dork, actually, who said inverse FUD. His explanation of it was inverse FUD, but I think reflexive FUD is more descriptive, so I changed it to reflexive, and I never heard anybody else ever say inverse FUD. To be fair, I'm the only one who's ever said reflexive FUD, but here's Fidelity's numbers, and this is coming directly off of the filings. So we know how many institutions hold what number of shares. We know the same about mutual funds, and we know the same about insiders. And whatever's left is literally what's available for retail to own, and it says 54.7. So I'm not going to beat that point into the ground, but I don't understand why there's not more pushback on that. But I guess it's just, again, it's just because people want to.
Of AMC, and at this point, you could argue that it could be even 90%. So then you ask yourself, how do we own 80%? How do we own 90%? And then the short interest is 24%. That doesn't add up to 100. They are over shorting the stock, over shorting and over betting.
Over shorting? Why is that over shorting? It says 24%. What constitutes over shorting? That sounds very, very subjective to me. They're over shorting it. I got to go back, so I was reading the chats, and I got to pay closer attention to what he's saying.
Short interest is 20.
Let me go.
Own above 80% of all of the shares of AMC, and at this point, you could argue that it could be even 90%. So then you ask yourself, how do we own 80%? How do we own 90%? And then the short interest is 24%.
Okay, so that's a complete just butchering of, so what he's trying, I think what he's trying to say is we own 80%. Let's just call it 90, for good measure. And I'm seeing this here, so that's 90%. I'm seeing this here, it says 24%. So if I add 90 and 24, I'm getting more than 100. So how does that work? And that's just like a serious facepalm right there. I mean, that is just, what the hell? What in the hell? He already talked about how he mentioned the cost to borrow, so he knows that they borrow the shares. So what is the what? You see what I'm saying? I'm just gonna.
That doesn't add up to 100. They are over.
Exactly. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
The stock, over shorting and over betting against it.
And then when you look, this is the AMC Moass movement right here. Right here. If you believe in the short squeeze, this is what you fucking believe. You believe this ignorant shit from an ignorant person who doesn't understand how the shit works at all. He can sit there and hype these numbers and say it's crazy, it's so high. But he's saying we own 90% of the float. That's unsubstantiated. Number two. Why would you add a percentage of the total, of the total free float? A percentage of that has been sold short, period. That's 24%. Why would you add that to a number of shares that are held by retail. It makes no sense. Why would you even do that? What about the shares owned by institutions? I mean, you know, that's here too. These are actually from a filing. This is empirical. This is data that's submitted to the SEC. What about this 20%? Oh, they must be overbuying it then. I mean, come on. What? This is what you believe. This is the AMC Moass narrative. And I don't personally understand how anyone could, after it's been explained by somebody who's willing to explain it, because a lot of people aren't, by the way. A lot of people, they know that the apes are clowns and they don't really care. They don't, you know, they don't really want to get involved. I understand that. It's fine. But, and I don't really care about the apes. What I care about is guys like Keenan, who have large platforms of almost 500,000 subscribers. And this is what he's putting out. This is complete garbage. It's complete garbage. And no, my friend, it is not officially 90% owned by retail. That is 100% not true, my friend. I don't need to go listen to Adam Aron talk about it, because it's not true. Here's your, you know, here's your data right here. I mean, you can believe it's true. That doesn't make it true. But it's not true, okay? You need to come out of the fantasy world. Come out of the fantasy world. It's just not true. I mean, it's just not true. And it's not even Fidelity that's reporting this. This is coming from disclosures made to the SEC by holders, institutional holders, insiders, mutual funds. It's just not true. It's just not true. And there are no synthetic shares. I mean, I get it. I get it. You're an ape. That's fine. But, and you're not listening. You're not interested in listening to anything that doesn't confirm what you already think. So I don't really understand why you're even here. So I'm going to have to ask you, please, shut up and listen, okay? We've heard all of those fucking points a million times. We've heard them all. We've heard them all, and we've looked into all of them. Trust us. Trust us here, okay? And if you're not going to trust us, at least don't try to convince us. We are not here to be convinced by you, okay? So listen, just shut up and listen. And if you have trouble doing that, I can help you. I can help you. Now, okay. Here's your DD, okay? Shit. There's your DD, okay? You can use that to go. You can go look the shit up and learn about liquidity and floats and shares. But synthetics, right? The synthetic narrative came from, drum roll, Lou versus Wall Street, who is a convicted fraudster. A convicted fraudster. And is it any wonder that he sold you a fraudulent narrative? Are you really surprised? Fraudulent narrative. Is it not 23% shorted? Well, we don't know, actually. To be honest with you, we don't know. The best that we can do right now is this. Okay? I'll give you the best that we can do right now that's not estimated, because this estimated stuff is not accurate. The best that you can do right this moment, and actually came out today, so look. But it's as of May 31st. But the best that you can really say is 21.32%. 21.31%, 109 million shares short. That is the exchange reported data for AMC. That is the data. Now, anything else, this is estimated, and I could bore you to death with details, or you could go look it up, of why Ortex's method is it's okay, but it's not great. And there are a lot of reasons why this is inaccurate. So, I mean, there's really there's really no reason to worry about it on a day-to-day basis. I personally don't think, because the data just isn't there to support it. The bi-monthly, the twice monthly disclosures from the stock exchange is pretty much as good as you can do. That's as good as you can do. Are shorts voluntarily reported? No, they're not. That's a good question. That's a good question. No, they're not. Let's talk about self-reported. Let's talk about self-reported, because this is something also. This is another thing that the apes don't understand, and they've never taken the time to look into it. They just keep repeating the same ridiculous information. I mean, it's not even information. It's a narrative. It is an opinion. It's incorrect. Okay. So, and I already have it. See, look, I already have it highlighted because I talked about it in another video. Ortex short interest data is sourced from the world's largest combined pool of agent lenders, prime brokers, and broker dealers who submit their inventory. Agent lenders, prime brokers, and broker dealers who submit their inventory. Okay? So, put another way, Ortex data is reported. It is self-reported. It is self-reported, but it's self-reported by the people who lend the shares, not by the people who borrow them. And that's huge. We know that hedge funds or any party, they don't have to disclose short positions on any form. They don't have to disclose it on any filing. They don't have to disclose it to anybody. Okay? It comes from the exchange. That's where the exchange reported data comes from, because it's marked a certain way when the trade is settled. Okay? Ortex gets data not from the exchange, not from the hedge funds that short anything, not from the institutions that short it. They get the data from the people that borrow that lend the shares to the short sellers. They get their information from the agent lenders, prime brokers, and broker dealers who submit their inventory. So at the beginning of each day, they, think about it like they have a computer program that looks at what shares they have available to lend out, and that gets sent to Ortex. Now, I don't know exactly how it works, but that is the process. So no, they're not voluntarily reported. It's not self-reported by the hedge funds. It's not self-reported by the hedge funds. That is something that even this Ortex guy continually says, it's a short interest at 24, and that's only what the hedgey decides to report. No, that is the most ignorant thing you could possibly say. Okay, but that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that, because there's a lot of confusion about that. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Zeno here with this bad mojo coming your way. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, Badback saying the ones who lend out shorts report the numbers, and what they report goes to cost to borrow percentage. It's what drives the cost to borrow, the total availability, right? Lenders report the lend shares, aka shorts. So the only problem with that is, so here's the thing. You can borrow shares before they're actually shorted. So this complicates the Ortex model, because you can borrow shares one settlement cycle before you actually sell them. So let's say I'm planning on selling, I want to sell short on Monday. Well, I could borrow shares today on Thursday. Settlement is T+2, so T minus 2 before when I want to short sell, I can borrow the shares legally. That's in the regulation. I don't know how closely that's enforced, or if they're not, if they're actually returned. Doesn't really address that. But nonetheless, it's one settlement cycle before. So if I say, okay, I borrowed 10,000 shares today, that doesn't mean that I shorted 10,000 shares today. It doesn't mean that I shorted 10,000 shares on Monday. It means I borrowed them. Ortex doesn't know the difference. And that's where the confusion and the inaccuracy in their model really comes from, is that's why they show you the exchange reported short interest. That's also why their estimated Ortex estimated short interest, their numbers get adjusted when the exchange reported data comes out. So, and that's another good point here. All information from Ortex is old and not live with the market. That's another good point. It says live updates, okay? But what you have to understand also is that, and this is very misleading, this is one reason why I think Ortex is part of this problem, particularly on shares returned, particularly on returned shares. The way that short selling works is that when you're closing a short position or buying to cover or covering a short position, it's all the same. There's no difference between covering a short position and closing a short position. They both result, it's the same, really nobody makes that distinction. Nobody ever makes that distinction except the apes, because they want to think that no shorts have closed their positions, but they have, of course. So, but when a short position is closed out, when a short position is when the short position comes to an end, okay, we know that the short seller has to buy shares. Ideally, they're going to buy them lower than what they sold them at, right? Okay, so they buy shares, and it's buy to close. That's literally what it's called, buy to close, buy to cover, depending on your brokerage. Covers, buy to cover. You're buying shares from the market, okay? Those shares go through a settlement process. They go through the T+2 settlement process. They go through the T+2 settlement process, okay? That goes to DTC. It is at that point that these shares get quote unquote returned. So so what I'm trying to say is returned shares are behind by 2 days. They are behind by one settlement cycle because they don't get reported. Remember, the only way that Ortex gets this data is from the people who lend the shares out. So it literally has to be coming from them. So if I close my short position today, there's still this T+2 settlement process that has to happen before the people that lent me the shares get them back. You see what I'm saying? So that T+2 cycle has to be completed. The shares have to be returned back to the lender. And there's no physical shares. It's just entries in a ledger or a spreadsheet or a database. This person, tally whatever number, and this person, and it's, just moving around numbers on a computer, essentially. But they have to be processed and settled and cleared through that T+2 process. So it's only after that that the shares would be reported, or shares would be returned back to the lender, and then Ortex has to get that new data that has more shares now because those shares have been returned. So it is not live at all. Nothing about this is live. That is so misleading. It's so misleading. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not attacking your beloved AMC, just the influencers. That's a good point, actually. I could care less about AMC, honestly. I mean, I've traded it. You know, I actually have a put position on right now, but you know, it's just another stock to me, just another way to make money. But you know, yeah, it's not about attacking AMC or even the apes, really. I mean, now when I say things like apes are ignorant, apes don't know this or that, well, that's more or less objective. I mean, when 2 plus 2 equals 4, and you have these people that continually insist that 2 plus 2 equals 5, you know, there's not much other conclusion you could come to. Either they're ignorant or they're really stubborn or a little bit of both. I don't know. I don't care. But I do know that these guys are telling them that 2 plus 2 equals 5. And that's where I'm always interested in what's the source of a problem. You know, I want to get at the root of what is causing this. Why is this problem happening? Whatever problem it is. I'm not going to go to how it manifests itself, but I do need to understand that. Yes. So that's why I have tabs open with this crap on it. You know, AMC stock subreddit and AMC search on YouTube and this and that. And I read things, but at the end of the day, you know, this message, this narrative is emanating from somewhere, and it's from here. At this point, it's not really emanating. It's like just regurgitating, which is disgusting, and it is. But hopefully that, you know, I don't know if that cleared up any misunderstanding of any of this stuff. But essentially, you are 2 days behind on data, and it is iffy at that. Correct. So that's, you know, that's it. Yeah, and that's why I say it's not really that prudent to follow this every day. I mean, think about this. Okay, that ortex data is, yeah, it's you know, at best 2 days out of date. One of the things I always wondered was, what are you supposed to do with that data? Like, how do you actually take any action based on that? I don't know. Like, what it says, you know, it says this. It's got all these numbers here. Okay, that's great. And then look at the other page, and it's got short score of 73.98. I don't really know what that means. There's no, you know, I say look it up on their website, but you know, it's some measurement that they have to try to, you know, make it look like it's going to be a short squeeze. Okay. Value of estimated short interest. Who cares? Like, how am I going to take action based on that? 1.65 billion. Well, the apes want to talk about, and these influencers, they want to talk about the Volkswagen short squeeze. If you want to find something interesting, go look up the total value of the shorts against Volkswagen and compare that to this. And, you know, that'll be one clue as to why it's nothing similar at all. And by the way, it was a much smaller percentage of free float that was shorted, but the stock was more expensive. Percent free float on loan. I don't know, you know, again, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information. Days to cover, and, you know, especially, okay, now we have this cost to borrow. It says 7.52. Well, over here it says 6.56. And this average and this max. So I don't know why there's another cost to borrow here. And utilization, don't even get me started on. 100% for the 85 days, he says. 85 days, okay. So clearly something's not working in their algorithm to figure out utilization. If it's at 100% and it keeps going up, the amount of shares on loan supposedly keeps going up. It's gone up and up. It says right here, change. 4.96% change from 7 days ago, but it's still 100%. No, I'm not that smart, but I know that that's not really how percentages work. Okay, like something's fucked up there. It's stupid. Nobody seems to care. They just hype it, like Ortex guy, hype it, you know. 85th day. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. Trey's Ape Father video. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it gets depressing sometimes, you know. But Berkshire Hathaway is really expensive. Yeah, who was it that said that? Who was it that said that? Somebody said that. I mean, I know we looked at it. I can't remember. Somebody said, well, you know, people say that AMC can't get up to $100,000 per share, but oh yeah, it was Ape Father, wasn't it? Wasn't it the Ape Father who said that? They say that AMC can't go to $100,000 per share, but look at Berkshire Hathaway. It's six figures. So clearly they're lying to you. And I mean, I don't know who it was. Is this it here? Okay.
Do Ape Father? Wow! That's all you gotta do.
My computer's like, what are you doing? Why?
That's literally it. That's all you gotta do.
Jesus Christ. Thank God, it's almost over. Jesus Christ. You know, I mean, I guess I'll do this, and it's been a while since we watched this. It's been a while since we watched this one. Boy, this was, I mean, this will never, and I've downloaded this. I've saved this video to my computer in case he takes it off or it gets removed. So I have it for posterity.
I'm gonna scare everybody in the movie theater. You can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible! But what you can do is buy AMC stock. Millions coming, baby.
They don't fucking care at all. It's great. It's so fucking great. We've noticed every person in the background here, made up stories about him.
AMC stock. You want to be a millionaire? AMC.
This dude right here, he
See, I'm an ape. They call me the Ape Father, baby. You can't kill Michael Myers, but you can become a multi-millionaire, baby. AMC in the house. Wow!
There it is. That face there at the end, too. He's like, yeah, I just did that, bitch. What are you going to do about it? You can't kill Michael Myers. It's impossible. Millions coming, baby. Millions. Okay, so, you know, you get the point about Keenan here. You know, it's not worth going through the rest of this, really. But I'll scan through it. I didn't watch the rest of it. AMC may be joining the Russell 1000. Okay, cool. Cool. What's this? Oh, he's looking at who the street is. Oh, okay. Who's saying that? Vet the source. Now, if only they did that about the actual AMC, quote-unquote DD. I love it. Go read some DD, Scott. You haven't read the DD. The DD is done. The DD is done. You know, if I were trying to scam people, I would definitely say that. I would definitely say that. Hey, we've already looked into all this stuff. We've already done the research. Go on Reddit, see, read it for yourself. You know, but you know, there's no reason to even look in. There's no reason to do any research. We've already done it. That's what they literally said. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, I didn't see this, and it's not. You know, Finance News is, and here's Elon Musk buying AMC stock. I saw the Jackson Hunter video. I mean, I didn't see it yet, but I know it's there somewhere. It's out. It doesn't come up in the search results. Poor Jack. But what is this? What is all this? What is all this stuff with Donald Trump? Well, anyway, I'm just gonna. And look, it's Clay. It's faceless Clay today.
What's up, Ape Nation? Clay
Yep.
from Finance News here. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your support. I'm back with a crazy AMC update. New evidence has emerged that former President Donald J. Trump is an ape, and things are
Oh my
really starting
God.
to heat up. Be sure to stick around, but before I get into it, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Okay guys, before we get started, I wanted to talk to you about this new brokerage that is helping retail investors become millionaires. With free trading and the best price
What?
execution on the market, NerdWallet has rated Interactive Brokers the
So, Interactive Brokers now is one of these. Now they're giving out promotional codes to these ape What the fuck? Why? Where's that person that always wants to throw Tom Petterfee in my face? Who is that? Are they here? Because that's Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All right.
At Good Report tweets,
At Good
guys,
Report.
check this out. At Good Report,
At Good Report. Oh, this is from Truth Social. At Good Report. Okay. So I'm sure it's the empirical. So
Description.
let's go. All right.
guys, check this out. At Good Report tweets, DWAC is the SPAC bringing Truth Social and Trump Media and Technology Group public. Facebook rebranded almost the moment TMTG was announced and has since lost $400 billion in value. DWAC's current share prices give TMTG a post-merger value of roughly $10 billion. Not advice. Hat tip to GameStop and AMC investors for exposing Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level. It's time to apply lessons learned to the most feared company on the market, one with a future and fundamentals, and one that also restores our voice. And we see this tweet from Mara.
So, he's talking whoever this is, good. I mean, this is bullshit, right? It's Good Report. I mean, great fucking name. Like, really good name. I mean, I'm sure that people will, Good Report. Yeah, they're, good source. Literally good source. Whoever this, obviously it's, they have a DWAC fucking avatar, but the most feared company on the market, and one with a future and fundamentals, and one that also restores our voice. Clearly, they're talking about AMC there, right? Okay, so some BS. Why do I say that? Some bullshit PR post. It's just, PR nonsense. Okay.
America First 17, holy crap, Donald Trump just gave a huge shout out to AMC and GameStop apes. Donald J. Trump, quote unquote, retruthed a post that not only announced the merger of Truth Social with a special purpose acquisition company to go public, but also shouted out the ape community for our role in exposing Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level.
So that makes him an ape. I knew it was going to be something like this. I knew it was going to be. So maybe there's more. Yeah, 14 in the chat. And also, in the Telegram group, the voice chat is on. It's open. It's patched into YouTube. So if anybody wants to join me on this stream, you can go to go to Telegram. Links in the description. Join the video chat. It's not really video chat. It's voice chat, but it says YouTube Live, and just join that, and then we can chat like human beings. There, Lynn, looking at you. Hello. So, what platform is this? This is Truth Social, I think, right? Is this Truth Social? Yeah, because it says 380 truths. Then that's what they call tweets, or truths. And you don't tweet, you truth something, and you don't retweet something, you re-truth it. So, I mean, gotta wonder about, a mindset that is so focused on quote unquote truth, truth. I mean, again, if I were trying to scam somebody and I was guilty of sin, it's not a bad idea. Truth, it's subliminal as fuck. It is subliminal as fuck, and it works on people and it works on these apes because by and large, they're susceptible to these psychological tricks and whatnot. I mean, that's we know that. So that's the evidence, I guess. Maybe there's more. I don't know. We'll see.
This is bullish, and while the intention is likely...
fuck you, Clay. Fuck you. Here's Clay. This is the best I could do for Clay. There he is. There's Matt Stoner, and then here's Clay with his name tag. Hello, my name's Clay. I am a grifter. At least Matt Stoner's an actor. Who the hell knows about Clay? He's just a grifter. God. This is bullish, guys.
Due to the fact that his company was mentioned, it adds yet another layer of support to the community. The comment section...
One word comes to mind. Desperate. They're so desperate for any validation that, they're mentioned in a post that is focused on DWAC. Hat tip. Great. That's what these type of people do. Oh, shout out to Hat Tip. But they don't give a fuck. He doesn't care. They don't care. Nobody cares. But they gave you a hat tip. And attaboy. You guys are good. Pat you on the head. Keep you engaged. Yeah. Right. Super bullish. Go for it.
On this tweet is wild.
Buy more shares tomorrow.
There are a handful of tinfoil hat comments saying that they believe that the apes were fed insider information directly from former President Trump, and that this was one of the ways that this community was born in the first place. This wouldn't be the wildest thing to happen in this community, but given what I'm about to show you, he may have wanted us to expose the truth. Property tycoons lose $65 billion after China curbs excesses. Upcoming transfer of wealth, you say? Real estate tycoons and the hedge funds all seem to be in the same boat as the Chinese real estate market continues to collapse.
Okay.
Led by Evergrande and their $300 billion in debt that will likely never fully be repaid, this compounding situation is leaving companies like BlackRock holding worthless bonds that are being used as collateral against derivative positions that by themselves are heavily over-leveraged. To make matters worse, Evergrande is just one of several Chinese real estate...
Okay, I love this tangential connection to AMC. The hedge funds, over-leverage. I mean, that's what the fuck Boss Blunts was saying about the stupid fucking executive order nonsense. Which, by the way, apparently nobody even did a Google search on it to find out that the biggest institutional investors and banks and asset managers have been getting rid of those literally since December of 2020. But nobody even Googled it? I just Googled it and found it. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know it was this easy to debunk. They literally started getting rid of that shit in December of 2020, and the executive order was initially issued in November. So, I mean, there's not even any connection to AMC, so there's that too. But yeah, it's just like another one of those things. Yeah, because the property market in China is crashing. Of course, that's going to make AMC go to the moon. Of course. Why wouldn't it? I mean, there's a direct link. Well, I mean, there probably is, right? I guess.
Companies that have defaulted, and from what I've seen, BlackRock alone stands to lose at least $5 billion. Along with some of the
my God, $5 billion to BlackRock. Go fuck yourself, Clay. I mean, seriously, $5 billion to BlackRock. Remember the $10,000, the short selling fee per day that was 1 million shares being lent at 1 cent per day, which ended up being like, what was that? That was the I think it was the 48% yearly borrowing fee. That's pocket change to, like, I don't know, Warren Buffett or whoever. $5 billion to BlackRock? Come on. That's
large banks on Wall Street. I would say I feel bad, but given what the hedge funds and big money have done to several other companies, if anything, this is karmic justice. Can short sellers destroy a company? It's Wall Street's open secret. There are a class of short sellers who target companies to destroy value. They operate in the shadows, whisper in the ears of business reporters, file lawsuits.
Oh boy, here's some short seller FUD. Cool. Let me go back and hear the whole thing.
This is karmic justice. Can short sellers destroy a company? It's Wall Street's open secret. There are a class of short sellers who target companies to destroy value. They operate in the shadows, whisper in the ears of business reporters, file lawsuits, and even call up government regulators, all to bring a stock lower and profit from the decline. Wall Street's open secret, this is disgusting. This is why I hold. This is why I want to see these SHFs bleed. I'm not selling. When short selling was first introduced into the market, it was branded as a good thing, and to be honest, there were aspects of it that could be deemed as beneficial.
Who wrote this? Who fucking sat down and wrote that? Wow. When short selling was first introduced into the market, when was it introduced into the market, Clay? Do you even fucking know? Have you ever even read about it? I mean, seriously. When it was first in the market, yeah, it actually had good... Fuck you. It says a class of short sellers. Do you know what that means? A class.
It was branded as a good...
A class of. I mean, yeah, you know, there is a class of, any group, a faction, a segment of bad apples, if you will. Yes, of course. There are a, and pardon the pun, there is a class of teachers that are abusive to students, for example. I mean, first thing that came to mind. Okay, but most of them aren't.
Profit from the decline. Wall Street's open secret, this is disgusting. This is why I engaging in illegal activity and the investment of it that could be deemed as market. It was branded as a good thing, and to be honest, there were aspects of it that could be deemed as beneficial. If a company was engaging in illegal activity and the investors were unhappy with what was happening, a company could be exposed, shorted, and everyone makes money on the way down. Or at least that's what the hedge funds said. Why they wouldn't report illegal activity to the SEC is beyond me. But then we saw the invention of...
Well, because the SEC probably wouldn't do shit about it. I mean, especially when you're talking about short selling has been around for a long-ass time. It's been around in the United States markets since before the SEC even existed, which wasn't until, like, 1933. So, again, it's like people trying to tell you about history who have not actually digested the information and are just putting out propaganda. Yeah, what they're doing here is worse than what short sellers have done. Oh, what about overstock? Mark Cahotis. Oh, by the way, did you see that Al from Boston has an interview with Patrick Byrne? Oh my God.
Short selling in which the hedge funds actively worked to bankrupt companies, all while naked shorting them, and then hoped that the company would go under.
All while naked shorting them. What? Where did this come from? Now we got naked shorting. Yes, of course. Why wouldn't they be naked short? I mean, come on. Come on. See how he's sliding that in there? Fucking grifters. And they put out like 3 or 4 videos a day, and they're all just as bad, if not worse than this. And why YouTube would allow these people to remain on their platform is beyond me. It's beyond me. I have no idea. It makes no sense. There isn't even the color of truth here. It's just propaganda, total propaganda.
And they would pocket whatever money they had made and move on to the next. This worked great until the apes figured out what they were doing, and while we continued to see predatory short selling AMC...
Yeah, the apes fucking uncovered the naked short selling that they have never demonstrated exists. Listen to this grandiose, narcissistic fucking talk here. Oh my God. And you know that if the apes think this, this motherfucker who's sitting here telling you about it, literally crafting a narrative, he's got to be a fucking, I mean, holy shit. I wonder if he and Matt Stoner are partners. Like, partners. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know why Clay wouldn't go on camera. If Matt does, I mean, Matt's camera ready because he's an actor. I don't know.
Bankrupt companies, all while naked shorting them, and then hoped that the company would go under and they would pocket.
Yes, because that's what everyone wants. They literally want every company to go out of business. That's what short sellers want. They want every company to go out of business. They want every retail investor to go bankrupt and get out of the market. I mean, what a simplistic narrative. It's so ignorant. So ignorant.
Whatever money they had made and move on to the next. This worked great until the apes figured out what they were doing, and while we continue to see predatory short selling in AMC, it's because they're stuck. And as they are forced to double down on their positions, things are starting to hurt on Wall Street. Trash the past tweets. It may just be me, but things are looking to heat up. Y'all can cover now, if you'd like, but you won't. Interactive Brokers is reporting that AMC's cost to borrow has climbed to 14.5%, and Ortex is reporting even more aggressive numbers, indicating that the average cost to borrow AMC is over 20%, and the most expensive AMC shares are
Oh my
going
God, half a penny per day. Holy shit. How are they ever going to afford that? Half a penny a day.
on loan at over 40%. This is supply and demand at work. The hedge funds need to borrow.
No. The apes don't believe in supply and demand. They don't even know what it is. But now all of a sudden, supply and demand is at work in the borrowing fee. Oh, okay. All right.
Shares in order to cover their short positions, but over 180 million AMC shares are already on loan, and there are no more available. This also explains why we have been at 100% utilization for 4 months. The hedge funds are all lined up.
You wouldn't borrow shares to cover shares. You would just buy them from the market, and there's plenty of shares available there because shares are bought and sold every day, as they are on every stock. So let's see what the orders were today on Fidelity as a proxy for retail. Ooh, overwhelmingly bullish. Oh, and the price still went down 5%. Nice.
Patiently waiting for their AMC shares, yet there are none available. Guys, things are heating up, and they are heating up.
What was the Ortex return data today? Oh, 2 million shares. Oh, okay. So there's no shares available to buy. God.
Up quickly.
Stupid.
As the hedge funds continue to kick the can down the road, the apes are quickly gaining power. And as long as the hedge funds need the very thing we hold, we will continue to have the upper hand. Well, that's it for this video. As always, please make sure to go down to the bottom of the page, tap that thumbs up button for me, and subscribe to the channel. While you're at it, be sure to check out...
Okay. Well, that was dumb. So that must be the only... That's the only thing. That's the only connection between Donald Trump and AMC. So if we go to Jack Hunter, which I just want to see Jack Hunter, and I'm going to search for it like that and see if it comes up. Because he loves being called Jack. That must be the connection. That's the only connection. It's the only connection. No, I guess not. Fucking comes up with all this fucking Jack Dorsey shit. Okay. There it is. Donald Trump is an ape. Oh, look. Current data versus May 2021, because everything right now is so much like May 2021. Let me tell you. That argument, they tried this shit last fall, and even last fall, it was a bullshit argument because it's just not the same. Look at your volume indicator to just, as a starting point. But now, all of a sudden, current data, June 2022 versus 2021? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jesus. He's not kidding either. He's going to sit there and with a mostly straight face and a mostly bald head.
Hey guys, this is Jackson Hunter. I'm back with another GME stock update. Today
this is GameStop.
Thursday, June 9th. Please hit the like button. Please smash that subscribe button. I love and appreciate you. Oh, so GME stock was down on the day,
I think Jack Hunter's a swinger. I think he's a swinger. I'm just putting that out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think he is. I love and appreciate you all. I thought I read here. Where is it? I read Hunter needs to be executed, and I agree with being evicted. No comment on the other thing.
Ending the regular trading hours at $128.98 per share.
Yay.
On a volume of 3.2 million.
Whoa.
This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not make investments based on what I say in my content. Check it out. GME was really just following.
He's like a robot. These people are like robots. Everything is the same. His little arm, his little hand in my video. Okay, now we get the mechanical, like, play-by-play of on Bookmap. Like, again, this looks like a really cool tool, but man, it'd be nice if he like taught people how to use it and made them excited about it and want to go buy it or something. I don't know, but it's so mechanical and boring.
Similar to AMC today, so you just had this downtrend and then a consolidation in this range of 127 to 132.50. Check out the limit buys and limit sells. It is continuing this personality of sporadic limit buys and limit sells. There's not really one or two.
Listen to him being all descriptive and shit.
Zones I can really point to. They're really all over the place. So limit buys at 128, 130 earlier in the day, and then 132 and 135. But GME broke through those support levels, if you will. You can kind of think of them as support levels and resistance levels in a way. Limit sell, big one at 140.
In a way, but you can kind of think of them. Okay, well, why don't you go into detail on that, Jack?
After hours, it's now at 138.50. Okay, check this out right here. SPY down still 15.97% year to date, but today it was down 2.38%. So a big red day for SPY, and that's because people are waiting on the inflation data, the CPI. Okay, so that's going to be reported tomorrow, and depending on what that is, if it continues the uptrend, if it continues 8, 9, 10, 11%, if it continues that way, you're probably going to see the overall market tank a bit. And if it is actually better than people are expecting, if it is actually getting better, which I don't think is going to happen, you're probably going to see SPY rally a little bit to the upside. Check this out right here.
Okay, I don't know. Nobody knows. Wall Street is an enigma, but I think, this is just my opinion, don't trade based off of this. I should take my own advice on that part of it too. I think that the market will rally no matter what the number is tomorrow. I think it will, because you have everybody, you have Shoeshine Boy here saying that if the number is worse than last time, that it's going to continue down. Okay, I don't necessarily believe that. I think that you saw the downside, you saw an overshooting of the downside today, and at the very least it will revert to the mean tomorrow. That's my opinion, because these fucks, I'm talking about Wall Street now, not this fuck. If everybody's bearish, as a contrarian, that's a sign to at least consider something else. Everybody's fucking bearish right now, especially after today. But it was a relentless move down, so I don't know, just my thoughts. That's just you know, an aside, I guess. But I guess, you know, so as to say, I think he's an idiot. You know, I think that he's taking the obvious approach, and sometimes that works. But the market's more complicated than that, I think. So, I mean, it's not like any of this shit was new. None of this is news. Nothing here is new. Absolutely nothing about the last week, 2 weeks, the last month. None of it is new. It's the same exact situation. Everything fucking sucks. What is new? You know, what is new? And we're going to see a reversion to the mean tomorrow. And if the numbers are better, which I think there's a chance they will be, I'm not saying that inflation has peaked or that inflation is better. I'm saying the numbers will be better, maybe. They potentially could be better because those numbers are cooked. They're not the actual, that's not really conspiratorial. Those numbers are massaged and worked, so, or they changed the way they calculate the numbers. Larry Summers, I think, was one who said if they calculated it the way that they did in the 80s, it would be over 10%, that kind of thing. So that I think that's what's happening here. And if the numbers, if the data is better than the consensus, it's gonna be huge short covering rally across the market. Huge short covering rally, and I think there's a chance that could happen anyway, even if the number is slightly worse. Now, last time I think I forget, it was pretty much the same. It was maybe a little worse or better. I forget. I don't care, but it's kind of the same approach last time. But I think that's that's the kind of bullshit that these fucks do. And really, if you're trying to like weasel people and quote unquote manipulate, it's pretty smart actually, because not only do you see it, everybody's feeling it. So anyway, see you, bad back. Thanks for being around, man. Appreciate it. Oh, Chris is a landlord? Well, we won't hold it against you, I guess. But boomer landlords, man. Gotta love them. Gotta fucking...
This is on
Here it
Truth
is.
Social,
Yep,
I
there it
believe.
is.
I'm not on the platform. I'm on too many social medias as it is. But this was a truth from Good Report that Donald Trump retruthed. I think you can think of it as retweeting. So the tweet says, DWAC is the SPAC bringing Truth Social and Trump Media and Technology Group public. Facebook rebranded almost the moment TMTG was announced and has since lost $400 billion in value. DWAC's current share prices gives TMTG a post-merger value of roughly $10 billion. Not advice. Hat tip to GME and AMC investors for exposing Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level. It's time to apply lessons learned to the most feared company on the market, one with a future in fundamentals and one that also restores our voice. So
it's interesting here that, as I was listening to that this time, hat tip to GME and AMC investors for exposing Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level. Okay? It's time to apply lessons learned. So, lessons have been learned. Everything's changed, whatever. Lessons have been learned. And we've moved on from AMC and GME. I think that's how I'm reading this now, to be honest. It's time to apply lessons learned to the most feared company. We've already applied the lessons learned to GameStop and AMC, is the implication. It's time to shift to something else. Donald Trump, he is the most feared company, one with a future, yes, and fundamentals, and one that restores our voice, yes. But I don't know, it's just weird because it's written in such a narcissistic way. Like, they don't care about GameStop and AMC investors. They just wanted to talk about, we're being persecuted. DWAC is being persecuted. Okay. Let's see what his take is.
So Donald Trump, he has a gigantic following worldwide, millions and millions of followers, and he retruthed that. So he gave exposure to that post talking about Wall Street corruption that was exposed by who? You guys and myself, but mainly you guys, because I'm just one individual, just one idiot on the internet. You guys are the...
That's true, but I mean, what corruption? What corruption has been exposed on an unprecedented level? That's what I would like to know. What are they talking about? Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level. Oh, the apes love to talk about 2008. That wasn't more unprecedented? Seriously. Apes, you haven't uncovered or exposed shit. What you've done Well, you haven't even done that. I was going to say, what you've done is learn about the market. But no, they haven't even done that. They learn about something, and oh my God, I can't believe the dark pools. Oh my God, short volume. The apes haven't done shit. And this is more of this Charles Payne. See, here's the connection. Charles Payne, Fox News, right wing, brain dead. What they're doing here is tapping into that current of Charles Payne, the Reddit revolution, the apes are changing Wall Street, bullshit from last summer. It was nonsense then, it's nonsense now. There were isolated areas that were heavy in retail, but, Wall Street corruption means what Elon Musk says, oh, short selling should be illegal. Short selling should be illegal. It's crazy what they're doing to these companies. Well, isn't it ironic that Elon fucking Musk, Reverend Elon Musk himself, CEO of the most overvalued company on the stock market, is crying about short selling? Okay. Probably need more shorts there, but it's dropping.
Smart ones. But check this out right here. This is
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Wow.
filing that GameStop did today. Okay, so
we're not going to talk about Elon Musk and his yucky Diet Coke. Diet Coke is amazing, especially the soda fountain version at movie theaters with salt and butter popcorn. Diet Coke is not amazing, number one. Number two, Diet Coke from a soda fountain is even less amazing. Number three, why would you want Diet Coke with salt and butter popcorn flavoring in it? That's the Coke Freestyle machine, right? They have salt and butter popcorn flavor. And then Jack said, Elon, my friends and I have been wondering, Elon, my friends and I have been wondering what would happen if you bought a bunch of AMC shares. It might expose crooked short sellers. Look at him baiting Elon Musk with some crooked short seller propaganda. Good job, Jack. Did he respond? You retweeted your own thing? Oh, you retweeted your own tweet. You should retruth that. Did he respond, though? Did he respond? Guess not. He would have shown it if he did. I wonder what would happen if a bunch of apes bought Tesla shares after something happens. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to have the money for that.
The S8 filing.
Hey, listen, Manny. I like regular Coke, okay? We can coexist. We can coexist. But the real jam, though, the real jam for diet sodas, okay? And I honestly like this sometimes if it's really cold, better than the non-diet version. Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. DDP sounds like DDT, that chemical. Diet Dr. Pepper. Now that's a good diet soda. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to drink regular Coke. So, anyway. Okay, now, GameStop. Now, I want to ask, anybody know what's up with the GameStop stock split? What's up with the share dividend? When share dividend? I thought this was supposed to be going on. Al from Boston said it was supposed to be unfolding right now. He said they would have it done. And, I watched the video. It was stupid, but that's what he said. What happened to it? What happened to it? So I'm going to buy 1 million cases of soda and send it to Jack Hunter. Sorry, diet soda.
But check this out right here. This is the S8 filing.
Oh, you know what? That was probably a fake tab switch. He switched that. He wanted you to see it, but he didn't want to talk about it. So he just accidentally went to it and said, I want you to see this right here, and didn't say anything, and then switched to this. Little sneaky little fuck.
Stop did today. Okay, so they filed an S8 filing, which allows for 8 million shares to be an incentive to employees. Okay, this person, crypto, wrote on Super
Look at this fucking retarded take on Super Stonk. I love it. I love it.
Says split is also imminent. We know that, and the incentives were drawn up with the split in mind.
Do you? Then where the fuck is it? Everybody was hyping it like it was going to happen. Oh, it's almost like there was no actual proposal for a fucking share split. It's almost like you just voted to increase the number of shares, and guess what? Guess what they're using some of them for now? Well, only 8 million, and there were already enough. But oh, let me explain why. Yeah, I want to listen to some Super Stonk ape. Let's hear it.
By the board. Okay, pretty interesting. The S8 details that from the 1 billion shares that GME has available, not outstanding, available, 8 million will be taken for employee compensation. Okay, cool. No big deal. Let's see. Ryan Cohen
no big
owns
deal.
9.1 million shares. Larry Chang owns 8,000. The new COO, Chief Operating Officer, I think, Patel Nir Vinay, will or has received a yet undisclosed amount of shares.
Chief Utu Officer. Chief O2 Officer.
TLDR incentive plan with a lot of shares and money is in effect as of today. However, this is way too much in comparison to what insiders already have or were awarded. Okay, so I get it. So the total shares right now are about 76 million. I think the float of that is maybe 40, maybe 50 million for retail to hold. And the rest is held by like institutions and insiders holding shares. Like Ryan Cohen.
Like, why don't we just not guess about it? And just go look it up, you know? It's not that hard to do. Big Red. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Big Red. Oh, do you guys have Jones sodas? They're in bottles. And they have all kinds of cool flavors, but they're cream soda. I mean, all the cherry soda. I mean, it's all really good. Cane sugar. It's what do we got here? What is this? Manny is sending something here from the bowling alley. Then it says disgusting. It could be anything. We'll get that up here. There we go. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Wow. Holy shit. Collect your extra prize when you receive an egg with a key in it. Wow. Okay. Never seen that before. Interesting. Okay. GameStop. So, 60.6% on the other retail investors. I don't know if it says the float on here. I don't know. I'm not going to sign in. That's okay. You can do this. It is. All right, 75 million outstanding, 64 float. What do we got here? Wow. Awesome. GameStop a buy after earnings? Uh-oh. Well, that's back in March. So, yeah, he's at a profit now. GameStop is not a great company. I mean, I just wanted to say that. GameStop, they're really not. Like, They're kind of a shitty company.
Cohen has 9 million. So
I
that's
know,
a lot out of the 76 million. But this is going to award employees 8 million shares. So this person believes that that 8 million is going to be post split, okay, when they authorize and when they issue more shares in the future to do the stock split. Okay, so check this out right here.
Well, we don't have to go off of beliefs. I mean, again, you can look these things up. They've got the, probably have the thing. New S8 filing, okay. I love how, too, Super Stonk is like this about GameStop. The AMC stock subreddit is about like this about AMC. It's like anything that comes out, even if it's not actually a squeeze catalyst or good for retail investors or whatever, gets hyped as if it is. Like they grasp at any straws to justify it. It always, you know, it just bothers me. It's stupid. It's ignorant. Like, that's not how things are. It is not the case that, you know, Ryan Cohen and the board of GameStop have the same interests as the apes who want a fucking short squeeze. Like, that's not, makes no sense. So don't even, why try? Okay. Oh, God, I don't want to read all this shit. Undertakings. Exhibit index. God. Power of attorney. Okay. Filing fee. Amount registered 8,000. Proposed maximum offering price for unit 131.60. Of 8,000 shares, issuable pursuant to the terms of and in the manner set forth in the company's 2022 incentive plan. The plan, which didn't they approve that at the last meeting or whatever? This opinion letter is being delivered at the request of the company. We advise you that we have examined shares have been duly authorized. We are members of the Bar of New York. They consent to the filing of this opinion. Okay. But when does it go into effect? That's all I care about right now. Probably no. Effective date. God. The last one. Know all by these presents that each individual whose signature appears below constitutes and appoints each of Matthew Furlong and Mark H. Robinson as said such person's true and lawful attorney in fact, an agent with full power of substitution and resubstitution for each person in such person's name, place, and stead, in any and all capacities, to sign any and all amendments, including post-effective amendments, to this registration statement, or any registration statement for the same offering that is to be effective upon filing pursuant to Rule 462B under the Securities Act of 1933. Okay, so does that mean it's in effect? I think that means it's in effect. Because they're using the price, well, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I think it's already in effect, Jack. Sorry.
The S8 details that from the 1 billion shares that GME has available, not outstanding, available, $8 million will be taken for employee compensation. Okay,
Right,
cool.
because they totally deserve that. Good job voting for that.
Maybe 50 million out of the 76 million. 6 million. I think the float of that is maybe 40, maybe 50 million for retail to hold, and the rest is held by like institutions and insiders holding shares. Like Ryan Cohen has 9 million, so that's a lot out of the 76 million. But this is going to award employees 8 million shares. So this person believes that that 8 million is going to be post split. Okay, when they authorize and when they issue more shares in the future to do the stock split. Okay, so check this out right here. This is really interesting. So this is a retweet from GameStop NFT from a film production company called Abante Productions, and they said, what if you could own your TV and movies again like before streaming? We're proud to release our live action paranormal comedy TV series in the GameStop NFT marketplace because we believe it's the future of supporting the creators. So that is really cool. It looks like you can host your TV shows.
What? Oh, that sounds like a great fucking idea. Okay. I mean, they're trying, I guess. They're trying with this shit, but... Man, they were about a year too late on the NFT thing. Shit. They were about a year too late. Who cares about NFTs
and movies
now?
On the GameStop NFT marketplace. So instead of going to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever it is that you watch, you can host it on GameStop NFT marketplace, and you'll probably get paid more, to be honest, from what I've heard about Netflix and all the streaming services. And
yeah, I'm sure you will, Jack. I'm sure.
Check out this video. I just recorded it about 10 minutes ago. It's called "This Is What We're Tired Of," and it's not AMC and GME like the media outlets and the Wall Street professionals want people to believe. Nobody's tired of holding AMC and GME. That's not what we're tired of. So check out this video. I'll put it in.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It sure seems like people are tired of holding these stocks. They just want their money that they're owed. Their apes are owed lots of money. As Frankie Muhammad says, it's a multi-trillion-dollar short squeeze play, man. So we have to go listen
in
to
the
him.
description.
He's got all the DD. So another non-video from Jack. Just, another non-video. I don't think I saw his Frankie Muhammad's video. Here's that Patrick Byrne interview with Al from Boston. I think if we all chant this, the hedge funds and the market makers and the 1%ers, because the hedge funds and market makers and the 1%ers, they literally all are on the same, they don't fight amongst themselves. Diamond hand apes still want $100,000 per share. Hedge fund tricks don't work. Oh yeah? Yeah, right.
Hey, this is Frank. Let me say, I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I say in this video should be used for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion. It may not necessarily be factual. This AMC short squeeze play is worth a lot of money. And when you got the kind of money that's involved with this short squeeze play, and you're trying to get that money, the last thing you need is distractions. So for me, it's certain people, it's like the closer we get to the Moass and the closer we get to this party popping off, for me, I got to get to the point where, especially YouTube, I got to tune certain people out on YouTube. Whether I like them, whether I don't like them, it don't matter how popular they are. It's nothing personal. It's just business. I don't need the distraction. After the Moass is over with, I can get back to watching their channel later. You see what I'm saying? If they in the AMC community and they got a channel and they talking about selling in the low hundreds, $200-300 or whatever in the low hundreds, I got to get to the point where I tune them out. That's just me personally. If you got an individual on his channel and he talking about he don't think it's billions of synthetic shares out there because they can't use their stock market analysis or they can't find data to substantiate that it's billions of synthetic shares in the AMC short squeeze play. My thing is this. How do you think they've been able to keep the AMC share price suppressed for a year?
It sounds like he's repeating things that I've mentioned in comments on his videos in the last few days, honestly. Because that's the kind of shit that I say right there. That is the kind of shit that I say. There's no evidence to substantiate the notion that there are billions of synthetic shares. And you don't need billions of synthetic shares to make the price go down. I don't understand this narrative like, oh, there's no way that the price would go down unless there's more shares than there should be because none of us are selling. But you only own about 54% of the shares. And what percentage of those have been lent out? I mean, come on. This is basic. Basic. But, that sentence right there, Chris, that sentence, that's the ape's last hope right there, that sentence. That's our prayer. When he posts it, we all say it together. We all recite it together, just like the Kansas Five beating their chest. I don't know, I'm just being stupid. But Frankie Mohammed is very, very akin to a cult leader. He's really pushing some cult-like concepts here. He's saying, oh, there's these other people out there that, they say that you should sell AMC in the low hundreds, or that they don't believe there's billions of shares. I got to get to the point where I just tune them out. Tune them out. They don't matter. No, I'm not going to listen to what they have to say. Are you crazy? No, they're the enemy. For right now, until after the squeeze, then we can be friends. I mean, Frankie sells strike. Yeah, exactly. This is a guy who sells an all-natural, highly effective, don't take too many of them, male enhancement pill called Strike Up. Well, now Strike for Men. It used to be called Strike Up. Got the Strike Up back in stock. This was before the pandemic too, though. So I don't know what happened during the pandemic if you really needed the strike. But that us versus them, black and white thinking. We've looked at a lot at cults here, cult characteristics, and how that stuff applies to this AMC ape narrative. And when I hear people say this kind of stuff, it's really bothersome because it's so manipulative. It is so manipulative to say stuff like that. It happens in politics. It happens in religions. It happens in whatever cult have you. What have you as a cult? Any of that stuff. Scientology, Jehovah's Witnesses, etc. The AMC ape movement. So it really is mental. It's just gobbledygook.
And a half without using synthetic shares. And I think some people, they think they have so much stock knowledge. It'd be so bad to the point to where...
like basic knowledge about the way the market works? They think they have so much knowledge. Well, it could also be, bear with me, it could also be that you have very little knowledge. That's possible. That's possible, okay? Look, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm saying you're a fucking idiot. We've looked, we know Dunning-Kruger around here. And, I would love to have a conversation with David Dunning. Oh my God. Al from Boston could get Patrick Byrne from a fucking has-been, never-was company that nobody fucking cares about. Overstock. Go fuck itself. Irrelevant. Totally irrelevant now. Irrelevant then, irrelevant now. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mark Cohodes. Overstock fucking sucks. But, however, Dunning-Kruger, David Dunning, that would be the interview of a century. Oh my God. And he's a professor too. Why would he not talk to me? I am going to have to email him. Or if anybody knows David Dunning. I mean, Al from Boston probably already knows him.
They just don't use common sense.
Oh my God. Did you hear that? Oh my fucking God. Are you
so
kidding me?
much stock knowledge. You know, it'd be so bad to the point to where they just don't use common sense. We can't be in this play for a whole year and a half and have the share price suppressed for that long and have the float of AMC we can't have the float of AMC, you know, being traded over and over again.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Why can't you? Use common sense, Frank. You just literally fucking said you're not using common sense. Well, use some goddamn common sense. Quit fucking spewing diarrhea out of your mouth.
Not be synthetic shares. So for me, it's crazy for a person.
That is the narrowest fucking frame of thinking I have ever heard. I mean, seriously, this guy is a fucking dull fucking butter knife.
They said, well, look, I just don't think it's beans or synthetic shares out there like they say it is. To me, that's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
Well, there you go. That's an opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Most of them are fucking shitty. Okay? They are.
To me. So for me, I got to tune those type of individuals out. That's just me personally. Because see, this play is worth life-changing money. So for me, I don't need the distraction. I don't know if the particular YouTubers may just be non-believers or whether they shields or whether they just don't understand what's going on with the short squeeze play.
Those are the only choices.
But for me, I don't have time to try to figure it out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're too busy planning your fucking vision board for when you get $2 trillion windfall from AMC stock because you're so smart. And everybody else is so dumb. They don't understand. It's use common sense. I mean, this guy, you know, well, look, check back on him in 5 years. Where is he going to be at? You know, seriously.
So I was listening to Al from Boston. I was checking out his last video, and he was like, the real zealots, the real people that believe that AMC can go to $100,000 to $1 million, most of them, they not on YouTube. He was like, they on Facebook, they on Reddit, and they're on
Facebook.
That's where they at.
That's where all the really informed investors hang out, by the way. Of course, Facebook, Reddit, we know that, and Webull. They use that. We know all of the hardcore zealots. Yeah, because that's who you want to be following. God, this guy is just such a joke.
And see, I'm like, I watch people videos, and I've heard people make statements, and they say stuff like, if AMC is at $13, why are we having a discussion that AMC should go to $100,000 if we at $13? I'm like, that reasoning does not make sense to me. That's
because you're an idiot. Okay? That's because you have drank the Tang. Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid, whatever the fuck it is. You drank it. And you're not smart enough to think critically about it. You believe things that you're told from people like Al from Boston, quote unquote. Seriously? Okay. Like, I mean, what an arrogant fucking moron. This guy is an arrogant fucking moron. Period.
just like saying,
period.
If you got a kid that's in high school and he have ambitions to go to law school, and he's talking about going to law school when he was in high school, and you come to tell him, look, why are you telling everybody that you want to go to law school. You haven't even went to undergraduate school yet. You haven't even finished undergraduate school. You haven't gotten a degree in
big
public
difference.
administration or accounting or criminal justice. You haven't gotten a bachelor's degree yet. Why don't you wait till you finish undergraduate school? Why don't you wait till you finish undergraduate school before you start talking about going to law school or telling people you want to go to law school? No, if that's your dream when you go in high school, if that's your dream when you're in high school.
Oh, now we know it's his fucking dream to be rich. Yeah, that's totally different, Frank. That's totally different. Your educational career is up to you. It's up to you. Based on, how hard you work and how you do your applying for student loans and all that shit. But the stock market's not the same as I want to go to school. I want to do this in school. It's not the same. It's a terrible analogy. How is it like that at all? It's not. In the stock market, sometimes you fucking lose money. That's the period. That's the lose. That's you. You don't win them all. You don't win them all. The ones that you think you're going to win the most, a lot of times you don't fucking win them. So, no, it's not like, oh, I'm going to go to school and work hard and get my undergrad and then apply to law school and get into law school and finish law school and take the bar exam and I want to be a lawyer. Okay, then all you have to, not all, but that's doable. You have to, I have several friends who are lawyers. It's hard work. A lot of people who are physicians. It's hard work. Hell of a fucking tough time to get down that road. But you have to put in the work. This is not the same. This is not the same at all. It's not about a dream. That's where the apes went wrong. They started saying when Lambo. And that element of this narrative just totally fucking corrupted everything in their mind. I'm not saying it's that alone, but that element, when Lambo, it's a problem. It's created this nonsensical fantasy. Period.
You go ahead and start telling people when you're in high school, man, I know I'm going to go to law school. You don't wait. If we think that we can get to $100,000.
Here we go. Here you go,
price,
Chris.
In the
Model
short
3,
squeeze play, why would we wait until it start getting there before we start having that discussion? No, you can go ahead and start mentally preparing yourself for that right now. So for me, man.
Okay. Daddy, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. Son, now don't think about that when you're a kid. But they asked me at school what I wanted to... And according to Frankie's logic, it's like, no, give that kid a fireman's hat and an axe. Let him go out and, run around. Let him go ride on the fire truck. I mean, why should we wait until AMC starts running to prepare for $100,000? It's literally the same thing. God. Oh my God.
That doesn't make sense.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? But let me just say this, man. When it comes to hedge funds and it comes to these short sellers, they trying every trick in the book to be able to deal with us. You see what I'm saying? And none of it is working, and we just getting stronger and we getting stronger. Like this week, we had coordinated attacks. One of the first ones we had the SEC videos. Those videos, they used those videos.
They hurt your feelings. Look, the apes are so emotional. They're so emotional. You can tell the mood just changed. He died a little bit inside. Oh, that sucks, Frank. Sorry. But hey, it's all in how you respond to it. Just fucking ignore it then. If it upsets you that much, they just keep churning it up over and over. Coordinated attacks. Oh man.
Whether it was intentionally or not intentionally, I don't know. But the way the videos came across, it was trying to assassinate our characters and make us look bad as far as retail investors. Then they turn around, we had the hit pieces.
Well, I guarantee you they don't need to make you look bad. I mean, your account, your portfolio, P&L, profit and loss, your account standing speaks for itself. And if we were to go around and look at all the apes' accounts, Oh, but 100,000 is coming. Okay, but it's not here. So, as it stands today, you've made a bad investment. As it stands today. Now, who knows what could happen tomorrow? It could go to $155 trillion per share. Or it could go to 1 cent. But, yeah, let's prepare for 100,000 because it's probably not going to go down anymore. Yeah.
That they put out, they were saying that we were fatigued. You know, we wearing down. You know, short sellers, you know, they doubled it down on AMC. We had those hit pieces to come out. Then we had the popcorn FUD to come out also. You see what I'm saying? So we had people, we had coordinated attacks. And even with all these attacks, it still don't work. It's still not effective. The only thing that we do, we get bigger and we grow. See what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. You know, but see, the hedge funds, they used to destroying companies. They used to taking people money, and they not used to people calling them out when they do something wrong. They not used to people hitting back. But see, the AMC and GME shareholders, we not like the shareholders, man, in the other stocks. We fight back. We hit back. You see what I'm saying? If you try to run AMC.
Yeah. You ever seen Tesla shareholders? You ever seen motherfucking Apple shareholders? This guy's my God. Now I'm just picturing an octagon fight or something between Tesla and Apple shareholders against AMC and GME shareholders. And the AMC and GME shareholders would be largely high as fuck. Most of them would be high. And the Apple and Tesla shareholders would be like resourceful, you know, smart, well-funded, like their account balances are high, they have resources. They're not high, their account balances are high. I mean, seriously, dude, no, AMC and GameStop are mostly new investors to the market, which there's nothing wrong with that. But hey, if this was your first play and you think this is how it is, that's terrible. Your whole conception has been skewed by these grifters who keep telling people the hedge funds, they're not used to people fighting back. Oh, really? Really? Why are you even worried about the hedge funds? Why are you worried about the hedge funds? Make your investment and fucking move on. Why are you worried about a short squeeze play? Literally the lottery tickets of the market. So, yeah, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But if you don't win the fucking lottery, you're not going to double, triple, quadruple down on the fucking drawing. That's already happened. It already happened last fucking June. Not happening again. It's just not happening again. But it's everyone else's fault that they missed it. It's everyone else's fault that they missed it. Come on.
And GME to zero. We're not going to punk out and let you drive the stock down to zero. We're going to diamond hands, you know, because, you know, we're going to diamond hands and we're going to continue to buy. You know, we're going to continue to hold.
Jesus Christ.
See, we got diamond hands and we got balls. We're just not going to let them run AMC and GME out of business. We're not like other shareholders when it comes to other stocks. That's not how we get down.
More cult language. Oh, we're different. Everybody else, us versus them. We're the chosen ones. We're not like everybody else. We care. I guarantee, well, I don't know. He's probably some kind of weird Christian denomination. But, dude, this is garbage. I mean.
See, we hold a line. You see what I'm saying? Look at what they did to Luna. They had a coordinated attack on Luna.
Oh.
They drove it. People started selling.
Christ.
They drove it all the way down to zero. See, man, that's not going to work with AMC and GME. It's not going to work. So all I got to say, man, this is the time where you to be focused. This is the time where you tune out distractions. Remember what we got in this play for. We got in this play for life-changing money. You see what I'm saying? And we're not going home unless we get the bag. We're not going to let the devil man walk away with our money. Thank you for taking time out to watch the video. Diamond hand, have a nice day.
Diamond hand, have a nice day. Yep. Good God. It's, I mean, 14 million more shorts. Oh, okay. What's the notional value of that? 178 million. Oh boy. Oh boy. Holy shit. Tomorrow will be huge. Just watch. I mean, what credibility does Stock J have to say that? I mean, come on. What? Seriously? Guys? Fucking smackiest mouth I've ever heard. Gross. Ken Griffin's secret payroll of ex-employees. Oh, God, I can't watch Tom Jim. Motherfucker. 443% short interest. Another hedge fund collapsing. Oh, we're at this point again. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be talking about in this update is, again, a little bit of the technicals I'm overseeing on some of the longer time frames, like we always do, and a very important lesson for a lot of you guys that are looking to get into AMC options. Now, in addition to this, we do have to take a look at the ortex data for AMC and GME, but there are some very, very interesting things occurring with ETFs.
So we have what about boatload? Do we have a boatload of anything tonight? I wonder.
That are holding AMC and GME at the current time. One of them has over 400% short interest right now, which we are going to be breaking down exactly what this is, some possible explanations for this, and why those explanations might be a load of nonsense. Now, in addition to this, we also have another hedge fund that is facing very significant
get on with this
loss
bullshit. I don't care.
We are going to be receiving
4-minute-long introduction. Well, not that long.
The CPI data, basically the inflation data, coming out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.
No shit. We all know that. Everybody knows that.
Yes, we did see this 1348 crossover right here as well, but we didn't see any confirmation candles or any momentum above this 200 EMA. It was looking like it could have gotten up there, but it never did. That's why I say I like to wait for these confirmation candles up here before we start to see that additional move to the up.
You imagine that. It's just like all the fucking other ones. It's just like all the other fucking attempts to get up, and it goes lower. I wonder why. And the long-term moving average is drifting lower. Yeah, that indicates that a fucking major short squeeze is imminent. Yes, it does. I mean, what the fuck, man? Seriously, how can you not see this? I mean, I know you guys see this. Maybe he even does. I don't think he does. I think he's an idiot.
Upside, very similar to what we saw back here. It didn't necessarily happen right here, but again, the longer trend is going to be.
This is a big dick one. This is a tiny dick one. Exactly. And this one, I don't even know. It's like,
when we take a look at AMC's ortex data over here, let me give this a little bit of a quick refresh. So
yeah, let's refresh it.
We've got 24.06% estimated short interest, but down here, the release date, we did get new exchange reported short interest data today, 21.31%. And ortex did overestimate AMC short interest on this day of May 31st.
You know, seriously, what? I don't know what time frame he was on. I don't really care. Yeah, so what I did on here was I put, I used volume profile to mark some important zones. I think it was on daily. Yeah, pretty much. So I marked a high volume area. These labels don't need to be on. I marked high volume areas. The gray boxes, and low volume areas with the red boxes to kind of, you know, signify important zones. So when you take that off then and just look at it with this, Yeah, of course. You know, it correlates. The gray boxes are high volume, and the red boxes are low volume. And oh boy, this came up here and bounced down, and it went straight through this low volume zone right here. And now we're stuck down in this area, and I don't even know how long it would take, how long it would have to consolidate before it would pop up, if ever, because the shorts will just cover and short and cover and short and cover and short and cover and short. But there's all these motherfuckers up here in this gray region. You want to think about that. This is your overhead supply in here. That's it. And that right there, that is being sold off lower and lower. You know, it's like watering the grass. They pissed on us and said it was raining. No. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. But this high volume node here, this one, and this one too, really. In fact, if I put that back on for a sec, we can see that pretty much it. There's low volume, low, low, high, high, high. Those are the most important price levels that this thing has. And the thing is, there's really no, I bet we could put a Fibonacci retracement on here, and I bet it would probably, so there's 7.86. Here's the golden mean right here. Here's the half, 0.5. I mean, they're not exact, but still important levels. So if you take these levels and the box levels from volume, we could probably play with this and get it to line up better too. That's half the thing. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. Fuck yeah. Right there. Boom. There it is. Fucking Fibonacci levels. Literally that easy. And it lines up with volume. So my guess is, if I had to guess, you know, you might see some of this shit. You might see that. You know, maybe it won't pop down, punch down through there the first time, but pretty obvious, pretty clear. Okay, short the VIX.
So it's very possible that we see the estimated short interest come down. That doesn't mean that there's covering going on. It just means Ortex needs to rearrange its data. Still.
Oh, don't worry. It doesn't mean there's covering going on. Yeah, fuck. You fucking asshole. There's goddamn covering every day. What the fuck do you think all of the buying is that's taking place? The fucking price shooting up on low volume. What do you think that is? What does he think it is? Oh, God. Oh, it doesn't mean that shorts are covering.
Super high cost to borrow on AMC here.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
29.97% on the average.
He obviously either doesn't know what it means, or if he does, super high, right? So like 0.8 of a cent per share per day.
48.18% on the max, with an additional 5.21 million net borrow of shares today. Most likely going to send the shares on loan tomorrow. Over 190 million.
I'm sorry, but people who concentrate on short squeeze plays, and I'm talking about the influencers here, and people who concentrate on one short squeeze play, it's like the most unskilled finance job that you could have. It's like, I don't know. It's like I can't even think of an analogy, but it's just there's nothing. He's not doing anything here, and he has to create hype around something that really doesn't warrant hype being created around it. And it's marketed towards unskilled investors. All you have to do is buy and hold. All you have to do is buy and hold. Okay, but no, that's not all you have to do to make money in the stock market, unless you're going for a long-term investing strategy. And you know, it's always been kind of unclear as to whether that's what the apes are doing. You know, yes, it's a short squeeze play, but they also believe in the company. They support the CEO, but they don't want to add new shares. We don't want to dilute the shares. No, we don't like him that much. But, you know, AMC, the movies are not going away. And I'll hold it to 0. Okay? Which one is it? Short squeeze is a technical, mechanical play. Works on the mechanics of the stock market. If the conditions are correct, right, set up. Not there with this. It's not set up right. Fundamentals is fundamentals. Technicals, you know, plays into both a little bit. But I don't understand what they think is moving the stock, especially when it goes up like it does. Let's find a good example. What do they What do they think all this is? They think this is just people buying? Like, randomly, on a Wednesday, everybody decided to buy the stock? What do they think? Who do they think this is buying? Who do they think that these areas are buying? Seriously, they think that that's just, oh yeah, institutions are loading their boats. It's not short covering. What do they think this is? You know, it's really ridiculous. And you saw this across the whole market. Short covering rally. Easy peasy. But no, it's not that. Don't worry. Shorts are not covering. Shorts are not covering. Look at these low volume areas where it's just punching through on market orders, market buy orders. It's just punching straight through, meaning it's short covering. Get out of here with that shit. Ortex. Fucking Ortex. Yeah, they need to rearrange their data. Yeah, Chris, they need to rearrange their data. That's all it is. It's Ortex, silly Ortex data. Pfft, fuck it. Low 100s.
Wild all-time high that we have never seen on AMC. Now, coming over to GameStop very quickly, likely going to send the 7% on the average, 48.18% on the max, with an additional 5.21 million net borrow of shares today. Most likely going to send the shares on loan tomorrow. Over 190 million, another wild all-time high that we have never seen on AMC. Now, coming over to GameStop very quickly, about 25% estimated short interest. Again, we got the exchange reported data. 24.65% on the estimate. Ortex was estimating about 28% on May 31st right here. So again, I would not be surprised if we saw these estimates slowly start to come down. Now, I do want to get into this situation with some of these ETFs that have crazy high amounts of short interest right now. So this...
Oh, great. Fucking shorting ETFs. Here we go.
XRT right here. So what we're looking at here is estimated short interest of 443%. Now, you might be thinking, well, this could be a little bit of an Ortex glitch here. But if you look at the short percentage, according to the exchange, you're seeing consistent...
Oh, I'm going to fucking destroy you, little kid. Oh, my God.
Wildly high amounts of short interest.
Let's let him do his little thing.
As reported by the exchange. Now, when we take a look over here, GameStop is the #1 holding of a weight of 1.6% of XRT, this ETF. So a lot of people have come out with a potential explanation for this in the past, and we see this NASDAQ article right here. In fact, as of the latest data, it's 626% short This is an article from back in 2011 that talks about XRT short interest. So this has been going on for a very, very long period of time.
Very. Yeah. Well, what does that fucking tell you then, bro? What does that tell you? It's been going on for so long. They can't stop it. They literally can't stop it if they wanted to. The SEC is on the take. Or you don't understand how ETFs work. Now, I'll give you this. It is complicated. It is complicated as fuck. How ETFs work, how the shares are dealt with, and all that. And I looked into it last fall, and I forget the details, and it doesn't really matter, though. None of this shit matters. None of this shit fucking matters.
A number that borders
None of it's
on
going to make a squeeze happen.
but it's actually not so unusual for ETFs. Not necessarily the case. Where creation, redemption, and settlement timing.
What? Okay. Yeah, this little shark stain here knows more than the fucking NASDAQ
so
markets.
This has been going on for a very, very long period of time. A number that borders on mythological, but it's actually not so unusual for ETFs. Not necessarily the case. Where creation, redemption, and
it's not necessarily the case that it's not so unusual. Like, what are you trying to say? He's such a fucking little shark stain.
Settlement timing mismatches can create seemingly impossible data like that. That's true if this data was kind of getting manipulated and you were seeing a weird settlement period or redemption or creation, something weird was going on. Okay, that could make some sense. But what you wouldn't see is persistent fails to deliver. And we come back over here to XRT, you can see that it was on the threshold list with a very high amount in persistent failures to deliver.
Oh my God, it's on the threshold list. Holy shit, that means that nothing's going to happen, just like every other fucking time. God.
Deliver from December.
Like, the apes and the ape influencers are the least evidence-based people I have ever heard of, or had to listen to, or chose to listen to, I guess. But they are the least evidence-based people in the market, for sure. For sure. 100%. They don't care what has happened before. They don't care what usually happens. They don't care what things usually mean. This is what it means, because going to the moon. I mean, that's so stupid. So dumb.
November 13th of 2021, all the way up until recently, May 30th, 2022, that was the amount of time that it was on the threshold securities list. That is a wild amount of time for shares to be failing to deliver on an ETF. So GameStop, this ETF right here, has wild amounts of short interest. Now, when we take a look at IWM, the Russell 2000, AMC is the largest holding of IWM right here, and this has 45.25% estimated short interest here, and the exchange came out at 40.58%. So these ETFs that are holding not a majority of their holdings in AMC or GME, but the top holdings in AMC or GME are wildly shorted at the current time. The other key thing that I want you guys to think about here is that we've gone over this in the past, but you can think of these ETFs as kind of like a pizza pie, where every single stock position that they have makes up a little sliver of that pie. When you short the entire pie, that is not going to show up on the short interest reports for any of those individual stocks. But what these institutions can do, even though it is very monotonous to do so, you can short the entire ETF and in the correct proportions buy all of the other stocks in that ETF. So you are technically only net short through the ETF, the one stock that you want to be. There are many ways that they can do this, but that is one of the ways that they are using these ETFs to get that indirect short exposure on these stocks that we are talking about.
How do you know that's what they're doing?
Basis. So that is going to be kind of that portion of the video right here where we talk about that crazy high short interest. Now I want to briefly go over this hedge fund that is facing very significant.
So you just showed a fucking article from NASDAQ that said that it was not uncommon. And then you disagreed with that and showed no evidence to the contrary. And just brought up fucking, another ETF that doesn't even have a high percentage. It's 45. So who cares? I mean, this is the limpest dick fucking shit that I have seen in a while. From him, at least. from any of these guys. Like, this has no staying power whatsoever. I just, we just wasted our time listening to this.
Now, when we come over here, hybrid hedge fund D1 is down nearly 23% year to date. Dan Sudheim's D1 Capital Partners, a hybrid hedge fund that bets on both public and private companies, is down 22.5% so far in 2022. According to a report by Bloomberg, the fund's biggest share class, which invests half its assets in equities and the rest
site?
in startups, lost 4%.
What is this website? Why can't I see the title? Why can't I see the URL? Where's the link? I mean, this is laughable. It's fucking laughable. Hybrid hedge fund D1. Hybrid hedge. I mean, it's ridiculous. Imagine making people do this. Like, that's why I put the links in the description when I make videos, which I haven't done in a while, but it's more fun to do live streams. Down nearly 23% year to date. Okay, let's see what we can find. There we go. Hedge week. Is that it? Hedge week. But there's a Bloomberg article too. Or is it? Yeah, that's it. There we go. That's it. Now why didn't he do this one? Why didn't he talk about this one? Why didn't he talk about this stuff? Why didn't he talk about this one? Oh, I know why they didn't talk about this one. Citadel's flagship hedge fund up in April despite market falls. Oh, that's why. Hedge fund. Ken Griffin's flagship fund posted a 7.45% gain in April, bringing returns so far in 2022 to almost 13%. Woo! Awesome. Yeah. But Citadel's hurting. They're in trouble. They're scared. Former Citadel analyst sentenced to 4 years in jail over hedge fund COVID scam. Fraudulent COVID relief funds for his startup hedge fund. So it had nothing to do with Citadel. Worked at Citadel for less than a year. Okay. Top performing hedge fund, Chinese hedge fund, cuts domestic stock exposure to 0. Okay. That's old too. But unnamed sources. Okay, cool. So we only highlight when hedge funds are failing.
Not
not when they're up 22%.
With its portfolio of stocks falling
when the fucking market is down nearly that much.
13%. According to to unnamed sources quoted in the report, D1's public market portfolio has fallen 44% so far this year, while its book of closely held companies is down by 8%. Now, there's a couple of key points that we need to make here, but
that'll teach them.
The one thing that I kind of want to bring up is that these people at these large institutions are supposed to be very, very, very intelligent and very in tune with what is going on in the overall market.
What is that? I smell something. Oh, that's bullshit straw man argument. There we go. Fat man, fat man. Fat man, fat man.
Me, 23-year-old college graduate, can see that the markets are probably not in a great spot right now.
Oh, he's so full of himself.
But this guy,
college grad, 23. Yes, you can see it. And Warren Buffett and all these guys that invest on fundamentals, they're stupid. It's so dumb. Don't you think so, Kringle Kitten? Because you're out in the world. I'm not out in the world. You know these things. Ha 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 ha.
Is running large amounts of money for a lot of these institutions is down 23% year to date because they were not able to position themselves accordingly. Now, this is not saying that I am better than them. It's just saying that these are the people that are receiving billions of dollars in capital to deploy and invest in a lot of these different companies. This is not the way it should be. All of these funds right now, we know this, they struggle to beat the S&P
Man, shame on them.
Single year. So why
don't you start a hedge fund,
high net worth individuals just throw their market in one of these indexes and not mess around with these people who are obviously not going to take care.
Wow, he's so stupid. He's so ignorant, so fucking arrogant. Why don't they just invest in an index, or they could invest in AMC? Because it's down 70% from its all-time highs. If that's what we're going for, they could hold to zero. I mean, yeah, they probably outperformed the market last year when, you know, everybody was making money, including the apes. Well, I mean, not technically because they didn't realize the gains, but because those losses, they're not real until you click that sell button. It's not real. So you can just imagine whatever number you want there, and it's just as realistic. I mean, listen to this.
Of their financial interests. So again, that's something that makes me a little bit frustrated by a lot of these funds that are making all of these fees on a lot of this money that they're taking in, but they suck at performance every single year. So that is going to wrap up this update on
every
AMC.
single
if
year.
You guys enjoyed the information.
Because you gave an example of 1 year, 1 quarter of 1 year, 2 quarters, 1 quarter, whatever, less than a year. All right, one more video and get the hell out of here. Any requests? Are there any other funny AMC videos out there? I don't even know how to find those. I don't even know. What's Lou saying these days? As he's changed his name to Lucifer. NYC Surprise, misspelled. Walk and talk. Lou versus Wall Street is definitely not a con artist. Okay. Is this a friend? Mo Money Investing? Are they friends of the cause, or are they apes?
All right, guys. So this really proves once and for all that Lou is not a con artist, and he's not fleecing his YouTube community.
What?
I'm going to be watching this video called "This is Bigger Than YouTube for Me." Fur spelled with an I. Haven't seen that one before, but let's watch.
How you do it too, by the way. Phone up to the screen. What the hell?
I just want to put out a video. People to understand something.
All right.
I walk around the neighborhood. I'm always out in the city.
Yeah.
I travel now.
Just an ordinary guy, guys.
People got to understand, like, for one, I am just like you. I am in this play. I was caught in this play like you.
All right, so this guy never showed his AMC shares. Ever.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
He's been on YouTube for about a year and a half. Never once showed his portfolio, his AMC position. Not a lot of people asked him to. I mean, he has a cult following. Where,
yeah, right.
You know,
I was going to say that's an indicator in and of itself, right there. The fact that not that many people asked him to. To me, Lou's definitely funny though. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's funny to some people, I suppose. You know, the horseplay and the stuff like that, it serves a purpose in his grift. It definitely serves a purpose. And a lot of people, you know, they are fooled by that, let's say. So that, you know, that's a positive or negative, you know, point, depending on how you look at it, I guess. But, okay, I wasn't sure which way this video was going to go. I'm still not really sure which way it
says is not questioned. So, yeah, like I said, nobody really put a lot of pressure on him to show his AMC position, but he most likely does not have any AMC shares. This is just a massive con where he's he's leading his community on, because I mean, he makes all of his money off of YouTube. So so all of you who hold AMC, you're listening to somebody who more than likely does not own any, and he's just using you to get views and revenue off of YouTube. Let's continue.
You guys, a lot of shit in this play behind the scenes. People, you know, when one day we'll know. But right now, a lot of people don't. That being said, please understand that this play, this channel, this whole thing has nothing to do with like me, Lou, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I am just a regular dumb motherfucker that hangs out. I just
Well, you're a dumb motherfucker, but...
Like I said, before YouTube ever came along,
he got that one right.
In this shit. So you need to understand.
Yep.
You need to understand that if you see me walking around and shit like that, just say, "Look, what's up?" No big deal. This is no celebrity stuff. This is no any shit like that. This is nothing like that. You gotta understand. 1, too old for that bullshit. 2, I love people. 3,
doesn't love seniors that much, though. I mean, he didn't get nailed for scamming senior citizens for over $70,000. So, you know, that's let's keep that in mind.
I am in the same struggle that you. Don't forget. I was throwing hands for money on not too far from here in order to make the money to come back up, to get in a play, to get stabilized.
What are you talking about?
Sport going forward, you know. So a lot of people don't like see the other stuff I'm involved in business stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like this ain't about.
What did you throw hands with?
I don't. Yo, there are people in this play that are in the struggle, and I know that. And like I said, deep down, I am as most down-to-earth, regular motherfucker you will ever meet.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely just a regular down-to-earth guy. Talking about, you know, how he owns penthouses and 2 Teslas. Every time he sees a nice sports car...
Yeah, what was that car? A Porsche? A Porsche? Or something? Manny said the key was fake. He said the key, he showed the keys. Manny said the key was fake. And he's in Miami, so I trust him.
He'll take a picture of it and himself standing in front of it and saying that it's his. So,
right.
Yeah, really down to earth. Really down to earth guy.
He was in a fight club.
I've been around money a lot of fucking years. A lot of wealthy motherfuckers at the end of the day.
No, you've been around money since you started YouTube.
This is not a me thing. This is an us thing. At the end of the day,
no.
We are all
cult language.
Working to get
cult
a lot of money
language.
So we can all win. Understand the whole we part. That's how it started from the beginning. Remember?
No, Lou is not part of the AMC community because I don't think he owns any shares. I guess he caught his break from YouTube when his channel started taking off because he started talking about AMC, but that doesn't mean that he owns any shares. And I just think he's been stringing his whole audience along for quite a while. I mean, every couple of months he comes out with a prediction saying that AMC is going to squeeze March 3rd. Now I think it's June. And I mean, eventually he might be right.
March 3rd and then June 3rd. I mean, they need to get more creative with the dates. July 3rd.
You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. But he usually isn't because he's not an expert on stocks.
Anything?
And because I don't think he holds AMC. I mean, every time I watched some of his videos, and every time that AMC goes down, I mean, he doesn't seem that bothered by it. So if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. And the other thing is, as I said before, he has never shown his portfolio.
Never.
So most likely he doesn't own any. He's just grifting off of his audience. And if you still follow this guy, if you still pay attention to what he says, I guess at this point you deserve to get fleeced, but you know, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just calling it as it is. And this guy is a fraud. So
boom.
That's it, folks.
Boom.
You want to leave any negative comments, feel free to do so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If not, you know, let me know what you think anyway, and I'll see you on the next one.
I think you're right. We think you're right. All right. Now, Chris said something that reminded me of this tune, so I'll play it out with this one. Thanks for checking out the live stream, hanging out. Appreciate it. Unfortunately, this is not getting any better. It seems like it's getting worse. I don't know how that's possible. I went back and watched some of my oldest videos from my first channel, the ones I have, which is very few. The first one that I have is from It's All White Noise. The first one I have is from July 31st. July 31st, 2021. And it's about Jack Hunter, actually. And then I have one with Astro, a couple with TMI, Angelo, a couple with Roensch. So I was thinking maybe this weekend I would either upload those or just set up a VLC playlist and just let them play or something, because it's pretty much the same, actually, like in terms of substance. It was actually a little bit surprising to me how much this has not changed, all this stuff, you know. And it's I want to say it's sad, but it's pretty classic. There's really nothing special about this scheme. All this white noise. And you got some people that, that believe this. Some people that are just clueless, and for your Frankie Mohammeds and whatnot. Keenan Grace. Anyway, I gotta get going. It's late for me. It's after midnight. It's alright, tomorrow's Friday, but let's see. Lynn dipped out, I guess. So Model 3 dude, Manuel, Chris, thanks a lot, guys. Probably be on live tomorrow, maybe Saturday, and then Sunday for futures at 6 o'clock. So make sure to stop by for that, and we'll try to get a jump on the market for Monday. So anyway, you guys have a good night, and we'll catch you soon. See ya. Yeah, I know. They only subbed to get on the chat because it was 20 minutes. Whatever, it's all right. And I'm not worried about the copyright strikes, really. Because, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, but, there's ways around those things. But anyway, all right, guys. Have a good one.